Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive, absolutely explosive controversy that's currently rocking the West Bengal assembly elections. It's this super highly charged situation where electoral security, fierce political rivalry, and one single individual's reputation have all collided in a pretty spectacular way. So, you gotta ask yourself, why is one Uttar Pradesh police officer causing a massive political storm over in West Bengal? Right in the middle of an already tense, fiercely contested election, the Election Commission decides to deploy just one specific individual, and boom, it triggers an absolute high-stakes war of words between rival political factions. How does one person become the literal flashpoint for an entire state's democratic process? Let's figure it out. To really get the context here, we have to look at where he's going. South 24 Parganas. Ahead of the crucial April 29th second round of voting, this officer gets deployed as a police observer specifically to this highly contested district. And look, in an election where every single seat is an absolute battleground, the person tasked with overseeing police conduct in a district like this, well, they hold an immense amount of influence over the reality on the ground. And this brilliantly illustrates the heart of the whole conflict. On one side, the Election Commission of India and the BJP are totally clear. They're saying this deployment is strictly to ensure free and fair voting, nothing else. But then, in stark contrast, you've got the incumbent Trinamool Congress and the Samajwadi Party alleging that the opposition is actually deploying these quote-unquote agents to deliberately intimidate voters. We are basically looking at two entirely different realities constructed around the exact same administrative move. Section 1. The officer. Who is Ajay Paul Sharma? Born in October 1985 in Ludhiana, Punjab, Sharma's career trajectory is, well, it's actually really fascinating. Before 2011, he was a practicing dentist. I know, it's a surprising leap, right? From dentistry, he completely pivots and becomes a 2011 batch IPS officer in the Uttar Pradesh Cutter. Fast forward to April 2026, he's serving as the additional commissioner of police in Prayaraj, and now suddenly he's been parachuted in as the police observer for the Bengal elections. This definitely isn't your standard run-of-the-mill bureaucratic resume. Now, what's really interesting about this is that Sharma is widely known as an encounter specialist. And, that's a highly charged term in Indian law enforcement. It's a reputation he earned for his incredibly tough policing style, plus his direct role in several key security operations across UP. Honestly, his formidable reputation absolutely precedes him. And once you understand this label, you really start to understand the root of the current political friction in West Bengal. The political players aren't just viewing him as some neutral, faceless observer. No, they're looking at him entirely through the lens of this specific, hardline reputation. Section 2. The controversy. The political war of words. So, the immediate flashpoint of this whole debate centers around a viral warning video. Shortly after his deployment, this video just started circulating everywhere online. It shows Sharma directly warning the supporters and family members of a specific Trinamool Congress candidate named Jahangir Khan, who, by the way, is known as a close aide of senior TMC leader Abhishek Banerjee. This wasn't some quiet, behind-closed-doors chat. No way. It was a highly visible, very public show of authority that instantly lit up the political landscape like wildfire. Just look at this quote from Amit Malviya of the BJP. He shared the video and literally said he wasted no time in setting the tone, firmly reading the riot act. The BJP has been actively praising Sharma's approach. Actually, Malviya even went as far as calling him the Singham of the UP police, referencing that famous tough cop movie character. The party's state unit is firmly backing his actions, claiming this strict approach is going to help guarantee the most free and fair election the region has seen in 50 years. They see him as an absolutely necessary force for electoral integrity. But let's flip the script and look at the direct counter-narrative from the other side of the aisle. TMC Member of Parliament Malha Moitra offered a pretty sharp rebuttal. She said, dial back the heroism a bit, hope your policing skills are better than your dancing skills. To push back against this whole Singham tough cop image, Moitra actually took to social media and shared authentic videos of Sharma dancing. It's wild. Her strategic goal there was to totally mock his public persona and actively challenge the aura of intimidation that the TMC argues his deployment was supposed to create. It's honestly a classic strategy, trying to deflate your opponent's carefully constructed image. So, the crucial point is how this all stacks up. The Election Commission deploys Sharma, a simple administrative move, right? Immediately, the BJP praises his strict security approach. But in stark contrast, the TMC and SP allege it's a blatant tactic for voter intimidation. And then, viral videos from both sides spark an all-out social media battle.
What we're seeing here is how a single, seemingly routine administrative deployment has completely morphed into a proxy battle of competing political narratives. It's the whole shebang.
Which leaves us with this final thought. Where exactly is the line between strict election security and voter intimidation? When a highly polarizing figure with a fierce reputation is dropped into an already volatile democratic exercise, does it make voters feel safe or does it make them feel threatened? It's a really complex dynamic that kind of forces us to reflect on how the mere perception of authority can shift the scales of a democratic election. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope diving into all these details give you a much clearer picture of the complex forces at play here. Catch you next time.